Hi, it's San Miguel Kind of Perspective. Today we have Bailey in this video. It's going to be starting e-collar work. So right now Bailey is equipped with the 1900S Black Edition. It's on the left side of her neck. It's very fitted. It's not moving around. It's not supposed to be shifting. It's supposed to be in one spot. So the fitting of it is fitted. You have a button to hold and to turn on the collar. And you also have a button to hold and to turn on the remote. Right now it's already on. This is lit up, so it's on. This is the on and off button, the single-sided button. Then you have a side versus two buttons. This is the stimulation. The bumpy one here is the one we're going to be using. It's called Nick. This one's called continuous. This is the smooth one. We're going to use the bumpy one, the first one up here. Difference is if I hold on the bumpy one, it goes tap. And if I hold on the smooth one, it goes tap. So that's why you want to use the bumpy one, just to let the brain process what's going on. This is called pager. This is the vibration function. We do not use it for training. The dial on top is to increase and decrease the numbers, and then there's your screen right there. Right now we're on 0, it's fully charged. Blue lightly means it's fully charged. Purple is like it's 50%, and then red is it's going to die. So the battery on your remote does not match the battery on your collar. They're different. So if one is fully charged and blue, that does not mean the other is blue. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is finding out what Bailey's working number is, the training number. Right now, it's pretty quiet right now. But again, we have 127 numbers on this. So we're going to start low, work our way up. We're going to find 3 numbers: connection, perception, and working. Connection is when you start to see maybe Bailey's shoulder starts twitching or like her ear starts moving. That's connection. But she's just like this, still chewing on the ground. Then as we go higher, maybe Bailey just like stops and it's like, what was that? It's like if a bug was flying around her. She kind of stops what she's doing and she's trying to see what that buzzing noise was. Then we're going to get to working, where we're looking for more of a movement from her. So maybe she sits, or maybe she like backs up or goes around me, something like that. So we're going to go in increments of 5, giving 3 taps between each increment. So if I say tap, 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 I pressed it 3 times in that rhythm. If I say tap, 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 5 times in that rhythm. So we're just going to go ahead and just watch Bailey here. I'm at 5. So here's tap, 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 10, tap, tap, tap. Nothing, still look on the ground. 15, tap, tap, tap. 20, tap, Bailey, tap, tap. 25, tap. There we go. So that's like if there was a bug. And then now we're also getting some movement. So here is 25 again, tap. Wait a moment, and then tap. There. 25 is the working number because it's causing her to move and trying to figure out what it is. We're looking for concern. So if I get a number where I see the twitch, I see that she's feeling it, but mentally she's not. So that's telling me that she doesn't care about it. So then I have to keep going in an increasing number for her to care about something. Because we're dealing with reactivity. So if the person walking across the street seems to be more important than the number or this feeling, that's not how it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be more important than the stranger or the dog or whoever it is she's reacting to. So we need this to be important, because if it's not important, it doesn't mean anything. And if it doesn't mean anything, it's just a waste of time then. So 25 in this environment is the working number. Now, don't get married to 25. Don't think that 25 should be her working number every day, all day. This number is going to change based on environment. So right now it's pretty slow here. So 25 at the facility with Enrique with this much activity is the number. Now maybe you go to Oz Park or like a busier park. Maybe 25 turns into 35. Or maybe around your neighborhood, it's a pretty quiet environment. Maybe 25 becomes 15. So the number's always going to change based on the activity, the weather, and just like maybe when she sees people, maybe 25 doesn't work. So what you want to do, what you want to get married to and always want to look for is the reaction Bailey gives you of her showing that she is concerned about it. Once you see her reaction, then you'll know that's the correct number. So here's 25 again, tap, tap, tap. Good. That's what we're looking for. Yes, good girl, Bailey. Good. Hi, it's San Miguel Camera Perspective. Today we have Bailey. In this video, we're going to be going over the heel command. Heel is walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop. So if I take 5 steps with Bailey, Bailey takes 5 steps. If I take 10, she takes 10. If I come to an automatic stop, Bailey is to sit on my left side with her right shoulder parallel to my left leg. This is what's done with a slack leash in any environment. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is just shaping the heel. We're not going to be using any words, just creating the behavior and letting her know how e-collar works. So first, we found her number to be 25. We're going to keep it at 25. Leash handling is putting your right thumb through the loop like this. E-collar remote will be going in the right hand. My left hand will carry the slack. So it's going to be over my pointer finger like this. And I'm going to give about this much. So right now I've created a J that ends right at Bailey's armpit. This is the amount of leash you're going to want to give when we're teaching her something, because if it's too low, she's going to step over it. And if I'm not giving enough slack, well then she's not going to make any mistakes, because we want Bailey to make mistakes so that we can teach something. If we're not letting her make mistakes, she's not learning anything. So that's why you want to give slack. If you want to hold the leash in one hand, you would put this thumb part on your right thumb on your left thumb, and then you would just close it like this. I'm going to hold it in 2 hands. So that's just how we're going to be holding the leash, just to make sure she's making mistakes. So how we're going to shape it is I'm going to start walking forward. Bailey is probably maybe going to pass me. As soon as that right shoulder passes my left leg, I'm going to do an immediate 180 to my right and also tap. So what's happening here is I'm correcting her for passing me, but then I'm redirecting her when I turn around. So if I'm Bailey, I'm walking, I get this feeling, and I'm like, what's this feeling? Oh, Enrique's going that way. Let me catch up. Oh, the feeling went away. Okay. So that's the idea behind it. And there's also going to be other options she might try with us giving this much slack. She might go to my right side. If she goes to my right side, because remember, the left side is heel, I continue moving forward. I give gentle pressure to my left, and I'm tapping here as well. If she resists or doesn't want to move or is lagging, I continue to move forward and I give a tap for her to catch up. Other than that, those are the things she might try that I expect to see. She had a week 1 with Prong, so she might not pass me, but go ahead and see what she's got. Now for Bailey, this doesn't need to be done with you, but I'm going to be using food. So every time she catches up or gives into the pressure, I'm going to be giving her a piece of kibble. Okay. So here I'm going to put her up into a sit to make sure I have the correct amount of slack. Good. So perfect. So again, I'm actually going to lower it to 20 since it's been some time since we found that working number. So I'm at here we go. 20. Okay. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and just start walking forward, and here it's going to be a tap, 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 and then yes, good girl. Good. Good. I'm going to do a slow turn. Good. No food here. And no taps, just because she's walking with me. Of course, she's not making any mistakes. Turn, tap. Yes, good girl. Good job. Good. Give a tap here. Yes, good girl. So there she felt it. I saw her neck twitch, and then she caught up with that tap. So that's good. That's why it's nice to do the week 1 with Prong, because they already know what the pressure feels like. Good. I'm going to be a little bit more picky now. Tap. Yes, good. So there, no leash was needed. I tapped, and then she just went ahead and followed me. Tap, tap. Yes, good girl. There we go. Tap. Yes, good. Tap, tap. Yes, good. Tap. Yes. Good. Tap, tap. She might have to poop. You can poop? Okay. Good. Lagging here, so tap. Yes, good girl. Tap. There we go, good. Pull it to my left. Tap, tap, tap. Yes. Good. Wait, yep. Tap. Yes, good girl. Good, she's starting to get stressed as I'm doing these taps. Good. Slow turn, no tapping. Good, because she's walking with me. Good, because before she was walking with me, but she was more looking for the food. So here, tap. Yes. Good. Turn, tap, tap. Yes, good girl. Good. Good job. Good. Good. And then pull up. Oh, she's got it. Good. Tap. Yes. Good girl. Tap. Tap. Wait. Tap. Good girl. Good. Slow to a stop. Good job. Good. And then up and tap. Yes, good girl. So at first, she was doing her usual walk where she's like having fun, kind of looking for the food. But then she was making a few mistakes and I was trying to be picky. And then she started getting stressed. So when I noticed she was getting stressed is when she, wasn't really looking at the food when I would hold it, and she started to kind of get a little flighty. So when she got flighty there, she hit the prong, and then she had to come back to me and I rewarded. She's still taking the food, but then there was just a few moments where she was kind of like, what's going on? And then she was able to take the food after a little bit of a few more laps. But we're at 29 now. And it's a good number because when she was sitting, I walked forward, I tapped, she immediately just gave into the pressure without the aid of the leash. For auto sits, we're gonna be going over those real quick, or not real quick, after this. It's the same thing, gently pull up, but now with the tension pulling up, I'm gonna pairing that with the e-collar. So I'm gonna have, this is my setup by the way, where I'm just feeding like this, e-collar in here. So you're gonna go walk forward. Good, yes, good job. Good, good, slow to a stop, and then up and tap. Yes, good job. Move forward. Good, slow turn to my right. Good. Pull to my left, tap. And then, yes, good girl. Good, slow walk, slow to a stop, up, tap. Yes, good girl. Good. Slow to a stop, tap for the sit. Yes, good. So there was no leash, it was just a tap and then she sat. Good. Now up, tap, tap. So here I'm gonna move her forward, tap, 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 tap. That's fine, good. Yes, good job, good. Good. A few more. Walk forward. Good. Good. Pull to my left, tap. Yes. Good job. Good. Slow to a stop. And then up, tap. Yes. We're gonna do 2 more. Good. Good. Slow walk. And slow to a stop. And then tap. Good. Tap. That's fine. Yes. 1 more. Tap. So I'm going to see if I can ask for more. Tap. 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 That's fine. Wait. Tap. Tap. There. Good. So I'm being picky with that now just because I see that she's getting flighty. So every time I do pressure with the sit, she kind of bolts and then sits somewhere else. But I want to let her know that when you feel pressure, it's just to come to it or give into it. So then she finishes the sit here. Usually we won't be picky, but just because of what I'm seeing so far, I'm going to start being picky because she's already good. She's got the foundation and everything. So then we can kind of skip a few steps. I'm going to do 2 more laps, actually, and then we're going to cap it here for her. And then tap. Good. Yes. Good girl, baby. I'm going to slow to a stop. And then turn, tap. So she technically passed me there. Yes. Good. Slow. And then stop. And then up, tap, 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 tap. Wait. Good. I had to go up to 34. Yes, good girl. Do 1 more. Good, no taps. Good. Slow to a stop. Wait. Up. Tap. 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 It's fine. Tap. Tap. Good. Good job. Good. So we're going to cap it here for her. We're covering 2 things with this part at the end where she isn't sitting next to me. One, we're covering that just give into the pressure. So even if it wasn't a sit, let's say it was place, it's the same thing. But now since I'm working with this right now, when I do place and I start adding pressure in e-collar, it shouldn't be anything new because she's like, okay, this is the same thing. I have to give into the pressure to turn it off. So we might see that again. Who knows? But now we're going to start maybe something to practice here for little Bailey. But other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. What else? So we're going to keep practicing this. And then the next video for heel part 2 would just be us covering the word, how do we use the word heel, left turns, right turns, and then a few other details for the command. Good. Break.
Hi there, welcome to Canine Perspective. My name is Andy and I'm here working with Bailey, our board and trained puppy. She's set up on the Dog Trip Black Edition. In this video, we're going over the heel part 2. So the first part of this video, we spent some time just shaping the command, getting her in the position that we'd like. Again, the heel command is walk with me, stay with me, and sit when I stop. We went over how to turn to your right and tap at the same time if the dog is starting to forge ahead, and we'll do that a bit more today. Because we've spent some time starting to again, shape the command, we're going to start layering in the actual verbal of heel every single time we begin to walk. Now, keep in mind that later on in training, heel is meant to be a very continuous command. You say it once and the dog will stay by your side, walk by your side, sit by your side until you tell them not to. In the very beginning, though, we'd like to repeat it every single time you start going. It's going to make it quicker for the dog to learn, and it's going to transfer the skill a little bit easier over to you when you get your hands on the leash and the remote. So, quickly, when we talked about our stay command, we would issue the command and then step away with the foot that's opposite Bailey, your right leg. Every single time you're going to start your heel, you're going to use your left leg, the one that's closer to the dog. This creates the same picture every single time that they see the left leg swinging forward and they're hearing heel, they're expected to follow you. Versus the opposite of that when we worked on stay, which is the opposite leg, we're expecting them to not move. So getting in the habit of always starting with your left leg, always saying heel at the exact same time, it's going to take some practice. I know it took me some practice in the beginning. Being really aware that you're starting with your left leg. So again, if she starts to forge ahead while I'm walking, I'm not going to pull back on the leash. I'm going to keep it slack, allow her to make the mistake, turn 180 degrees away from her, and then tap until she's back in the position I'd like. Yeah? So let's give this a shot. I'm just going to bring her around so that she's not laying down.
And before you get started, sometimes owners think that you have to tap and say heel at the same time.
So, good. In the very beginning, it's common for owners to think that they need to tap and say heel at the same time because that's how we've been layering in other commands like the place command.
No, we don't do that either. It's just place. If they don't go to place, it's tap. But here, since the owners for first class, when they walk, they have to tap because we're not using the cue yet. So they think that's continued with the heel word. What I was trying to say is that if we say heel, because you could have said it there and she's laying down. If I said heel and I started walking, but Bailey is still laying down, we would need to tap to make the heel happen instead of repeating it and repeating it and repeating it there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's common for owners to think that they need to tap every single time that they say heel in the very beginning. We only use that for recall because we want that to be the strongest command possible. They must listen. Now, if in this instance I were to start walking forward and saying heel and Bailey did not join me, she stayed on the ground, that would be my opportunity to then use the e-collar, motivate her into the position. But it wouldn't be immediately right away heel tap because you're waiting to see if she'll follow you. Yeah? So let's make a few passes here. I'm just going to turn to my right-hand side whenever she starts to forge ahead, if she does. And every single time I stop, I'm going to slow down before I get there. The reason for slowing down, it's kind of to check in with Bailey and see if she's actually matching your speed. If she begins to forge ahead when I slow down, instead of committing to stopping and pulling her back, I'm just going to make a 180 turn and go the opposite way. If I'm starting to slow down and she's right there with me, beautiful, I can come to a complete stop and she should sit. So again, using those slow downs as an opportunity to either check in with her and make sure that she's at my pace, or if she started to forge ahead, use that as an opportunity to turn and tap rather than pulling her into the position you'd like. Cool. So we're just going to get started here. Make sure I have enough slack in my leash. Every single time, start with your left foot. Heel.
Okay.
Good.
One sec.
Slow to a stop. Good. I'm just going to pull up lightly and tap. 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 Good. Bumping up just a little bit. I'm at 25 now. Left leg starts, heel. Good girl. Slowing down before the turn. Good girl.
Thank you so much.
Slowing down to a stop. Good girl. Left leg heel. Good. Tap. Tap. Good. Now I'm tapping there just because she's getting a little bit far behind. I was feeling the slack in my leash go completely away, She's just trailing a little bit too far. Slow to a stop. Good girl. Left leg heel. Good girl. Slowing to a stop. Tap. Good. Tap for the auto sit there. Heel. One more pass. Tap. Good. She's just a little far. She's on my right. I'm going to pull to my left. Good. Slowing down. Speeding up again. Good girl. Slow to a stop. Good girl. Good. Heel. Left leg. Good. Now, again, she's a little far, but that, again, is just going to improve over time. I'm not going to fuss too much about the position that she decides to end in. As long as she's seated when I stop, that's what we're looking for. Now, another option here, if I'm heeling with Miss Bailey here and her head is like really glommed onto the front of my leg, or if she's just staying way too close to me as I'm heeling, we're going to turn the opposite direction into her. So before, we've only been turning to our right-hand side and tapping at the same time. Now we're going to turn directly into her this way, a left-hand turn. The first step you would make is with your right leg. It's going to go right in front of her. 1, just to like completely block her space, and the next step brings you to the side. 2, and then you continue walking. Show that one more time. So as we're walking here, I'm going to take my right leg, step it right in front. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Good. Now, this turn isn't an option if she's already forging ahead. If she's past your leg already, you don't want to run up to her and try and step into her this way. If she's past you already, that's just your opportunity to turn to your right and tap and get her back into the position. So again, if she was sticking way too close to me, or if I just needed to create a little bit more space between our heel, I would take that right leg, 1, 2, 3, as we're walking. Yeah, and I'm not using the e-collar while I'm doing that. I'm just using my own body spatial pressure to kind of claim the space a bit. Pull up and tap. Good girl. Let me try that just a few more times. I'm going to make a few laps, just turning into her to the left-hand side. Heel, left leg. Good girl. Slowing down, see if she's with me. Good girl. Right leg steps 1, 2, and 3. Good. Tap. Good. She's just getting a little far. Slowing down. Right leg steps 1, 2, and 3. Good girl. Slowing down. Right leg steps 1, 2, and 3. So truthfully, Bailey's giving me a ton of space here. There's not a real need to like claim my space as I'm walking into her. Now, if we were to try this outdoors or somewhere with more exciting energy, more distractions, she may be more inspired to be pulling forward or just staying closer to my side. Stepping into her and actually like commanding the space is what's necessary to get her into that position. Again, she's not really doing it right now. She's hanging out where she needs to be. So again, we have the right-hand turn over your right-hand shoulder away from Bailey if she's starting to forge ahead. If she's giving not enough space in between you and your left leg, you can turn towards her to your right. But in the beginning of teaching Bailey how to heel, you want to stick to these two methods of turning. Why? Because they're a very clear picture for the dog of what's happening. If they see your left leg in front and you're pivoting around, they know to go around that left leg. If they see your right leg swinging around, they know that you're about to make a turn to the left-hand side. So again, it's about making a clear picture to the dog of what's about to happen, and then their their response to it. So I'm going to do this a few more times, making passes back and forth, and I'm just going to mix up when and which turn I do. Bailey, heel, left leg. Good girl. Tap. Tap. Good. Good. Tried speeding up there to see if she would follow. She did. That was great. Slowing myself down. I'm going to step over 1, 2, and 3. Good. Slow to a stop. Good girl. Left leg heel. Good. Tap. Good. Right leg. 1, 2, 3. Good. Slow to a stop. Good. Left leg heel. Tap. Good. Slowing down, crossing over. Right. 1, 2, 3. Good. Very good. Left leg heel. Slow turn. Whoop, 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 tap. Good. Good. Good girl. Heel, left leg. Right. 1, 2, 3. Good. Good girl. Left leg heel. Good girl. Nice job. Good. Anything else I'm forgetting here?
How to practice. Do you remember?
Just taking this outside.
Yeah. So it'd be collaring up Bailey, bring her out, potty, potty, potty. Yeah. If you want to, yeah.
So, how to practice this? Taking this back home. Get her gear on if you're going to use the prong collar. Get the prong collar on, e-collar on. Make sure the prong is above the e-collar. First thing, let her potty, do her business. We don't want her worrying about needing to go to the restroom while you're trying to focus on training. So let that be the first thing you do when you get outside. And then don't think in your head that, all right, I'm going to walk from point A to point B, because truth is you might just be making a bunch of U-turns back and forth to begin with. You can start practicing this indoors inside your home and seeing just how she...
So they don't need to do that, and it shouldn't be, don't be surprised if you're doing all these turns, because they shouldn't be doing turns. It should just be 1, 2, then they're good to go. Because if they're doing a lot of turns, that means your number's too low. So the practice is collar Bailey up, potty, potty, potty. Find your working number first, then say heel, then you take her, tap if needed to bring her onto the heel. Do 5 of those left turns, do 5 of those right turns, and then do your actual walk. Does it make sense? So you can just go straight outside. You don't need to do anything inside. And then for turning a lot of U-turns, that doesn't need to happen. It's just that means the number's too low.
I mean, you just said that it needs to happen. Doing five of the reps, that's what I was explaining.
Oh, I thought you said don't be surprised if you need to do. It sounds like you're saying.
Well, I'm saying if you get outside and she's healing perfectly, then why do the 5 reps anyway?
For a warm up for them to practice with Bailey.
Exactly.
The way you worded it didn't sound like that. It sounded like don't be surprised if you need to do these turns.
I'm just saying most people think oh, my dog knows how to heel. I'm just going to take him on a walk from point A to point B, and not think oh, this might take some time to if they find a distraction, they might break heel, and to know what to do in that situation. That's all. But you're saying you're saying there will be no problems. Just turn up your remote.
Correct.
The,
when we do the
owner,
follow-up,
the owner doesn't get that.
when we do the follow-up lessons, they do like 3 turns, and the whole lesson, there are no turns. Yeah. That's all. Because if they're constantly doing these turns, because we have a 3-error rule, if you have to do more than 3 turns, bump at 5. 3 turns, bump at 5. 3 turns, bump at 5. But for Bailey, it's not. It's how do I say? Because it also depends like the behavior and everything, like the case and everything like that. Yeah. This is just obedience, and then more of like the reactivity. But I think I know what you were saying.
So to practice this at home, first thing, get all of her gear on, get her collared up, take her outside, let her pee, potty, do what you need to do. Now, what I was just doing in this room, a couple back and forth turns, turning to your right, turning to your left, getting her used to what's about to happen on the walk. Make sure you found your working number while you're doing those passes back and forth. You might realize that because of the environment you're in, you might need to turn up your working number, you might need to turn it down. It all depends on Bailey. Once you've done those few practice turns and she's good to go in your heel, ready to go on your walk.
Okay.
Hi there, welcome to Canine Perspective. My name is Andy and I'm here working with Bailey. In this video, we're going to be going over the stay command. Good girl. So the stay command is the only command that we will start right away with the verbal. Reason being is you don't want to mark any commands until it looks like what you want. The absence of any movement is really what we're looking for, and she's doing that right now, so we're going to go ahead and mark it. We also add a hand gesture just to make it exceedingly clear to the dog of what we're looking for. So I'm going to wave right in front of her face and say, stay, at the same time. Now, choking up on your leash, just a foot or so right above her head, being ready to catch her if she moves with you. Using the opposite leg, your right foot is going to step away from her. Again, nice and slow to make sure she doesn't move. So now I don't want her to lay down. I want her to stay in a sit. So I pulled up and tapped. Good. Just coming to the opposite side of her. And then coming right back in. Good girl. Break. Nice job. And then a little reward at the end. Good girl. So let's try that one more time. Good. Stay. Choking up on your leash. Oh, I'm out of the frame. Let me scoot over here. Good. Stay. Choking up on your leash, getting ready. Using the opposite foot to step away from her. Good. You can start to make things a bit harder by passing right or left. It's just changing your facing towards her is a different picture. It's a different command essentially in her mind, but all she has to do is stay there. Good job. Break. Good girl. Nice job. Good. So again, like we mentioned in the heel video, every single time you wanted to start walking, you want to move with your left leg. Creates a clear, oops, sorry kid. Creates a clear picture for the dog that you want them to move with you. In this command, we're doing the exact opposite. We're stepping with the right leg, the opposite foot. It's again, a clear picture to the dog of what we'd like. In this case, we don't want you to move with us. We want you to stay. So two different legs, 2 different commands, 2 different meanings altogether. Let's try this one more time and just make things a little bit more complicated for her. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to change my body. So, stay. Right leg. I'm going to walk all the way around this time. Good. Might change my speed a little bit. Good. So that got her a little bit right there. I'm trying to get her to mess up so I can show you what to do in that situation. As I started to speed up, she started to move with me and she took one step forward. All I did was lightly pull up on the leash and then gave a tap. I'm at 32. As soon as she stops moving, I can continue moving. but you don't want to continue walking around while correcting her for the stay, because she might think that you're wanting her to move with you. She might think that you're trying to get her to heel. She sees you moving, she feels the e-collar, she wants to come with you. That's what we taught her in heel. So in this instance, if you catch her moving with you, freeze. Wait for her to completely stop, and then continue moving again. Break. Good girl. Good. Nice job, kid. So the stay command is a bit different in the sense that like our sit command has a stay implied. A down has a stay implied. We don't have to say sit and stay, down and stay every single time, because it's implied that the dog will remain in that position until they get the release word. So how we use the stay command is if, thank you, Bailey, the dog goes to a position of their own volition, where, if you're in your own home and they decide to lay down on the couch, and if you, for some reason, need them to stay there, if you need to vacuum around or clean up or whatever, you can go over and say, stay, because they're not in a command, they're not in a place, they're not in a down, they were deciding to lay down on their own, but because you need them to stay there, you can then use this command, stay, to not allow them to move. Where you wouldn't start to use this is after all of your sits and downs, because if they get used to you saying stay after every single time you say down, down no longer means down, or it could mean down for half a second and then they're up again. Down should mean down until you say the release word. Good? So I'm going to try this here just while she's laying down here. Stay. Getting ready on the leash just in case she decides to move. I doubt she will because she's pretty pooped. Good. Ultimate test. Oh. One got her. That got really close. I'll let her have it. Break. Good girl. Good. So I threw some treats on the floor just to see if that would be enough motivation or enough distraction for her to break the stay. I threw one kind of close to her. That's on me. So she did get one. But there were more that she could have popped up for, and she chose not to. So I'll take that effort. It's good. Yeah. So that's stay. Super simple. Easy ways to practice this would be at a stoplight. If you're walking and you hit a crosswalk, you have to wait for the stoplight anyway. Wait for the auto sit. Because you're in a heel, the sit isn't a sit, it's part of the heel. You can tell them to stay in the sit position, do a little walk around like I just tried, and then continue on your walk once the light is green. But using those real world opportunities to train are great. While you're on the side of the street, there are probably way more distractions than there would be inside of your house. So remember, practicing this inside your house, getting great success, will not mean you're going to get great success when you try this on a crosswalk, because there are cars, there are squirrels, there's wind, there's trees. There's a lot more environmentals at play that make it just makes it harder to focus.
Hi, so Rick, Camp Perspective. Today we have Bailey in this video. We're going to be going over the place command. Place is go to your bed, don't hop off. She can sit, stand, lay down, chew on a bone, whatever she wants. She just cannot hop off the bed. Right now we're using a lifted dog bed. You can use whatever you'd like as long as it has a solid perimeter. So like a yoga mat, a towel, her own bed, anything that again has a solid perimeter. So owners have used those items before, or like they've used area rugs, chairs, couches, things like that. The owners like to use yoga mats and towels just because they can just fold it up and bring it to, wherever they'd like to bring it. So here, this is again a lifted dog bed. We like these because they're sturdy. It allows airflow so that the dog remains cool while they're on this object, so they're not just getting hot being in one spot for a certain period of time. So right now, what we're going to do is just kind of repeat what we've been doing for week 1, where we're giving pressure towards the bed, pairing that with the e-collar. And then we're going to go ahead and switch it up to make sure that the e-collar is actually the tool that's making Bailey go to the mat. I'm not going to say any words. We're going to kind of start over, and then we're still going to be using food and all that good stuff. So here, I'm gonna approach the bed and I want her to settle first. So right now I'm at 25. I'm gonna give gentle pressure. Tap. Yes, good girl. Good job. I'm gonna do this 4 more times. Break. So with the tension, I'm tapping. I'm also not moving my feet. So I'm letting her kind of do all the work. So here, I wait a moment. We're gonna try 30. Gentle pressure, tap. Yes, good girl. And then break. Good. 3 more. Good. Tap. Yes, good job. Good. Break. 2 more. And tap. With the pressure. Yes. Good girl. Break. And 1 more. And tap. Yes. Oh, good girl. Good job. So now, break. We're gonna switch it up. I'm gonna approach the placement as usual, but now I'm not gonna give any tension. What I'm gonna do is give e-collar pressure first. Once she moves to the bed, the pressure stops. The reason why we were doing this part is just to make sure that the e-collar is the tool that's making her go to the bed, so I'm not being so reliant on the leash. So here, excuse me, she is settled. I'm gonna give a 20, this is on 26, a tap. Wait. Yes, good job. Slow, but she figured it out. That's all that matters. Good job. And then break. Yeah, 4 more. So there was no leash that was needed to help her. So here, good. Tap. Wait. Tap. Yes. Tap. Wait a moment. Good job. Going to 20. Break. And there's no taps there. Wait a moment. 1 tap, 2 taps. Yes. Good girl. Good. 2 more. Break. Wait. And tap. Tap. Good job. Yes. Good girl. Good. 1 more. Break. Wait a moment. Wait. So I just need to let her settle first, right? This is frustration. And then tap. Tap. Yes. Good job. So here again, I'm seeing a little bit of frustration of the vocal, the whining, and then the kind of going back and forth because she wants to go, but she's hitting the end of the prong because we're trying to just relax, tap, then she goes. So now we're gonna do 4 more. At the end of each send-off for the next 4, we're gonna introduce the second part of place, which is the stay part. So right now we're working on the send-off, go there, go there, go there, go there. Now it's stay there. So I'm gonna do one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and walk in a circle. If Bailey hops off, I stop my movement. I start tapping until Bailey goes back to the bed. Good girl, Bailey. That's a good girl. And then, yes, good job. I'm gonna do this 4 more. Break. I'm also slowly increasing my distance. Wait a moment. And tap. Yes, good job. Good. Here's a circle. Good girl. Break. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 more. And then, wait. Tap, tap, tap. Yes. I had to go, oh, I'm still at 20. I think I went lower because I just increased right now. Break. Oh, I forgot to do a circle. Tap. Yes, good job. Oh, so here the kibble fell, tap. Good. Good job. Here's a circle. Good, 1 more. Break. Wait. And tap. Tap. Yes, good job. Good girl. Good. So nothing out of the ordinary there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and introduce the word. So she knows the word already, but now she knows it with e-collar. So it's going to be at the break and then place. We only tap if Bailey doesn't go. We are not tapping at the same time we say place. It's just place, she doesn't go, we tap. If I say place and she goes, there have been no taps. Sorry. Break. Yes, good job, good job. I was gonna say good girl and good job at the same time. Place. Yes, good job. Can do a little circle here. Again, if she hops off, I stop moving, I start tapping for her to go back. Once she's settled, I continue my circle. Break. Good girl. Place. Yes. Break. 3 more. Wait, yeah. Okay, wait. Good job. Place. Good. So a few things I've noticed. Break. From this version of place is she's a lot more faster. Good girl. Place. Yeah, yes. Break. 1 more. Bailey. Yes. Good job. Place. Yes. So good, nothing out of the ordinary. She did really good. Now it's just practicing with her. Right after this video, we're gonna go ahead and start duration work where she's gonna be on a bed for an hour. So practicing, how we practice here is we have columns and then with this bed and then it's a tether. So they're tied up to the column. We give them about this much of leash that's tied. So this is like the end of the tie. So they have this much. So she can fully hop off whenever she wants. It's just us correcting that behavior now. So we like to give them the leash to make mistakes again so that we can teach something and that we know that they're staying there kind of by choice in a way. Even though they are tied up, they're still staying there because if the leash was like this short, they're obviously not going to hop off because there's nowhere to go. So I can be down here training another dog. I have Bailey's remote because I already know she's going to hop off. So if I see her hop off, I start tapping. She should just retract. Actually, Elias, is there a ball in that? I see a ball on that kennel. Can you toss it? I don't need to catch it. I just want to see if Bailey will break it. So Elias is going to throw a ball, and then we'll see if Bailey breaks it, just so I can show you what it looks like when we're correcting her because she didn't make a mistake. kind of get her attention first. Like, good, and then just toss it anywhere you want. And she's fine, yeah. Bailey. Yeah, she doesn't care. Break. Yes, go get it. Go get it. Oh. Get it, Bailey. Yeah, good girl. Guess see if we can get her interested in it. Good job. Yes, good job. Good. She's probably gonna bring it back to place. Yep. Good. Break. So here, place. Good. Good. Yeah, she's holding it pretty well. So we'll continue with the other distractions, see what breaks her, maybe other dogs around her would distract her, but I don't think that will happen. What else? So if one paw comes off from the placemat, I'm tapping right there and then. What you don't want to do is not let her. So like, let's say we're training here just to send off, and then I see her about to hop off, but I stop her. That would be incorrect because we wanted her to make the mistake, so I would start tapping. We wouldn't want to stop her at the leash. We want her to make the mistake so that we can teach her something. Time-wise, she could go straight into an hour, 2 hours, whatever you're looking for. You don't need to do it in increments or slowly, like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You can go straight into an hour. So if you don't have a structure that you can tether her to, what you can do is have this exact same setup, drop the leash, put this setup maybe near like a couch, and you're sitting, and then the foot's on the leash, and you can like watch a movie, read a book, work from home, anything you're gonna be doing stationary. And then let's say you want her bed to be like in the corner of the room or like in center. You would still want to start close and then work your way out to that section. Because if you start far away right away, she's probably going to make mistakes, and there's going to be a lot of walking back and forth. You're still going to want to keep that leash on. So start close, work your way to that area where you want her bed to be. So if I'm here sitting watching a movie and I feel the leash move around and I see her off, you don't say place again. You start tapping until she goes back. Let's say she starts growling, whining, chewing in the leash, or any inappropriate behavior on place. You can give her a tap to correct that. Now, what might happen is when you correct that behavior, she might hop off. So if she hops off, you would continue tapping. You don't say place again until she goes back onto the placemat. She's going to be a little confused in that moment, but it takes around like 2 to 3 times for a dog to realize, oh, I just don't growl, whine, chew on a leash while I'm doing duration work. So when you go home, you're going to want to repeat this process all over again because she knows place with the e-collar with Enrique at the facility with this mat. So when you use your new object, she's not going to know that place means go on this. She might, since she has a good foundation, but you're going to want to start over to let her know that this e-collar means to go to this version of place now. So good, we'll end this session here. She did really good. Nothing out of the ordinary. The frustration and the anticipation is all normal for Bailey. Good girl. Good girl. Break. Hi, San Miguel Camera Perspective. Today we have Bailey. In this video, we're going to be going over the down command. Down is lay down, kind of don't move, your traditional down. So with Bailey, how we taught it is we use the prong collar, and we're still going to have the prong collar on, just because it's something familiar to her, so that when we're using the down, she kind of knows what this pressure means, since it's the e-collar is the more newer pressure to her. So what we're going to be doing first is not using the word. I'm going to go ahead and put pressure on the foot, on the leash, pull up, and then with the pressure on the prong, I'm also going to tap. So right now, good. We're going to go down to 40, and that was 55. So we're going to go start low, 33 actually. And what I'm going to do is just give pressure again, like this. No words, just shaping the behavior. I feel tension, so I'm going to tap. and tap. Yes, good girl. Break. Good job. We're gonna do this a few more times. Good. Good, and I want her to sit as well. Good job. Good, tension on the leash, and then tap. Yes, good job. Break. 3 more. Good job. And tap. Good. Break. Got it. You can do it. Yep. Yes, good girl. And tap. Good. Break. 1 more. Break. 1 sec. Bailey, come here. Oh, no. Good. Tension, and then tap. Wait. Yes, good. So here, just repeating the leash to help her. But now what we're going to be doing is advancing forward. We're not going to use the leash. We're going to use the e-collar first. Break, because I want to make sure that the e-collar is a tool that's making Bailey lay down, not I don't want to depend or be so reliant on the leash. So here, I'm just going to keep my leash short. I'm at 30. I'm going to give it tap, tap. Went up to 39. Wait a moment. Tap. And tap. Tap. Wait. Good. Now I'll help her. Tap. Good. Good job. Good. Break. So here, I'm on the right number because she's moving around, but she's not laying down, so I'll help her. But I kind of want her to figure it out. We'll get there. Good. And then wait a moment. Good job. Pull up. Good. This is 28, and then tap. There we go. Yes. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Break it. Okay. Good. And then here's a tap. Yes. Break. Good. To the tap. Good. Break. Good job. Pull up. Good job. Tap. Yeah, good job. So now I'm at the point where if I tap, now it means to lay down. So it's progressing very well. Break. It's very consistent. After that first one, it's been consistent. So now the word can be beginning. We can start using the word. Down. Good. Break. Down. Yes. Break. See if I can just pull her up. Good. Wait. Yep, wait. Almost, wait. Good job. Good job, baby. Where's the cooker? Down. Good. So now I have the tool here in case she doesn't want to lay down. All I have to do is tap. And if she's struggling, foot goes on leash, and then I pull up to bring pressure down to help her out. So now, this is a little bit of walking stuff, duration work around here. If Bailey gets up, I immediately start tapping, put my foot on the leash just to help her. That's if you're doing it in like a little training session, you're introducing the stay part of the down. But let's say in real life, what you can do is, let's say she's in heel and you're walking and you see the familiar face. Instead of leaving her in the auto sit, because that's what she should be in, I would say down, because if I'm going to talk for a while, I'll step on the leash and just put her in a comfortable position, because sitting for a long period of time is very uncomfortable for dogs. Foot goes on the leash and I have a conversation. Now, if she lays down before you say down, you pull up and tap to correct that, get her to sit, then say down, and then make the down happen. Park at a bench, take a seat, foot on leash. The foot's on the leash, there's no tension. It's just in case she gets up, because you're not going to be like this, kind of like holding and talking. you're probably going to be more like this. This is how much leash you have. So she has all that leash to move that way. So instead of doing that, I'll just stop on it and talk. So as she gets up, she hits the leash, I tap, she lays back down. Just easier. And I always like to use the left foot, so just the foot closest to the dog. I don't get why you would need to use the right foot unless you're like this. I don't know. So that's down. Other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. She's really good. Good. Break.
Hi there, my name is Andy. I'm here at Canine Perspective and I'm working with Bailey. In this video, we're just going to be going over the super basic sit command. She's doing great already. So sit, it's already been shaped a bit by our heel command. While we were walking, if we needed to pull up and tap to get the sit. So she's already aware of what the position is going to be. How to use the leash and the e-collar to make this happen if it's not happening already. For example, if you're walking her in a heel and then you come to a stop, it's expected that she should also sit. If she doesn't sit right away, here's what you would do. You take the leash, applying gentle pressure upwards, not enough to pull her attention or anything, just giving her information. Nope, we're not lying down. Good girl. Now, if she was standing, she's too quick for me here, so I'm just kind of explain what would happen here. If she's standing, eyes locked on something across the street, you'd lightly pull up on the leash and tap, tap, tap on the e-collar, waiting for a response. If she does not respond after 3 taps, I would keep the tension on the leash and gently tap her haunches on the backside, just to remind her like, hey, this is what we're looking for, butt down. Other option is to bump up a bit on your e-collar. She's responding great to just sitting in general. She seems to know exactly what's up. She is tired right now. Good girl. So that's it. Yeah, sit, super simple. Gentle leash pressure up, tapping on the e-collar as needed. If you really need the extra help, a tap on the hind end to get her to put her butt down. As soon as you see the butt go down, the pressure on the leash releases and all taps on the e-collar turn off, getting her to know that once I'm in the seated position, that was the position I'm looking for. Good. Because this is such a heavily shaped command, I'm going to jump right away to the verbal and see how we are. If, again, I get no response from the verbal, I'll go back to what I just said, using the leash, using the e-collar to get the sit. Bailey, sit. Beautiful. Good girl. And if she responds, oh, I think I blocked her. She did sit right away. If she responds right away, there's no need to use the e-collar. There's no need to go to the leash pressure. Just going to try this a few more times and see how solid this really is. Bailey, sit. Good. Bailey, sit. Good. So there was a tiny bit of hesitation there. I thought I was going to have to help her out. There's some dogs playing over there. But she figured it out. She sat almost right away. Good.
Hi, it's San Miguel, Canine Perspective. Today we have Bailey, and this video we're going to be going over recall with the e-collar. So everything remains the same. I'm just going to run through it over again as if it's just something brand new. So holding the leash, we had the long leash, and then Elias has a short leash. The short leash is to create separation, again, to force the separation, because as we keep doing this, Bailey's going to start to understand what the exercise is, so she's probably going to want to stay next to me. But now, that's why we have the short leash. The 30-foot long leash is to make the command more realistic with the distance, and then also to make the command happen. So that if she gets distracted, I have 30 feet of leash that can make her kind of finish the command. So when you're handling the long leash with the e-collar, you want your right thumb to the loop like this. The e-collar will be in your right hand, and then you have the left hand as carrying the rest of the leash. With this setup, I have 3 fingers available, because all I need is my pointer finger and my thumb to use a remote. These 3 fingers are actually going to reel in like this. As she's coming to you, you're letting the leash hit the ground. You don't need to worry about carrying it. Once you have done reeling in, because the reason for the reel is we don't want Bailey to have 30 more feet to pass me. So that's why we reel it in. When we're done reeling it in, we don't want to do this, because then we'll get rope burn. What we want to do is do the pointer finger lock like this, and she shouldn't break from that. So I'll show it again, just reeling it in like this. And then when you're done, I flip like that. to get this shape, and then you're good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So it's the come when called command. Bailey is to land a foot or two in my vicinity in a sitting position. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna be very similar to the prong where we are pulling and then we're trying to giving tension towards us. With the tension now, we're gonna be pairing it with the e-collar. So as I give tension, I'm gonna be tapping. As soon as Bailey starts making her way to me, I'm gonna take 3 to 4 steps back as she's coming to me, and then the tapping will stop because she's giving into the pressure, and then I'll hold. We'll see what she does. If she stops in the middle, I tap, 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 move back again. She looks funny. If she passes me, I turn, face her, move back, tap, tap, tap. 3 to 4 steps backwards, and then we hold to see what she'll do. To see what she'll do. So again, tension, tapping until she comes. Once she starts making her way to me, I'm moving backwards 4 steps, 3 to 4 steps. I hold, see what she does, and if needed, I'll tap to make her continue to come to me, or turn and tap to make her come back to me. We're not using any words, we're just letting her know that, hey, when you feel this, it means to come to me from a distance now. I'm gonna go at the 20 since we're teaching something new. So here, here's some tension, and then tap, tap, tap. Yes, good girl. Good. Wait a moment. So here I'm gonna give, there she comes. Tap. Good. Wait a moment. Wait. Yes, good girl. Good. And then break. I'm gonna do this 4 more times. She showed a little bit of confusion of what was going on as she was leaving Elias. That was all I noticed. Okay. Tension and tap. Yes. That's a good girl, Bailey. Good. See what she does. Face her, move back, tap. Tap. Yes. Good. Wait a moment. Yeah, good girl. Good job. Good. Break. 3 more. Here's some tension, tap. Yes! Good girl. Good, face her, move back, tap. Tap, tap. Yes, good girl. Good. Good job. What? Good. Break. Two more, right? 2 more? Yes. 2 more. So here's some tension, and then tap. Yes, good girl. Wait. There she goes. So there, she thought about it. Good girl, yes. Good job. 1 more. Break. She's like, wait. Good. Reel in my leash. Wait, yep. Okay. Okay. And tap. Yes. Good girl. That cleanest one. That was nice. Good job. That was a good one. Now we're advancing it. Break. So now it's gotten easier and easier and easier, as you saw from this this one right here, we're gonna go ahead and switch it up. We're not gonna use leash tension at first. We're going to keep our leash slack just like this, and I'm gonna tap first because I wanna make sure that she's coming to me because of the e-collar, not the leash. Good. So slack leash, and tap, 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 tap. Yes, good girl. Wait a moment. Yes, good job. Good. Break. 4 more. Was the room hot?
No.
It's like cold?
It's not like, well, to me it's not cold, but it's not like warm.
Okay.
It feels like it's like maybe 60.
Okay. So here, slack leash, tap, tap. Yes! Good girl. Wait a moment. Yes. Good. 3 more. Break. Good. Slack leash and tap, 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 tap. Yes. Jesus. Yes. Good job. Good. Break. 2 more. Wait a moment. Yep. Wait. Tap. Yes. That's a good girl. Wait. What are you doing? Yes. Good job. 1 more. Break, right? One more, then we're going to switch it up again. And, oh. Wait a moment, let her settle first. And then tap. Yes! That's a good girl, baby. Wait. Tap with a sit. I'll accept that. Yes. Good. So now we're going to go ahead and add the cue. Break. So it's going to be Bailey, come, tap, always. So even if she's coming to me when I say Bailey, come, I still want to tap, and then I'll explain why we want to do that. So again, everything remains the same. I still reel in my leash to limit her passing me. The moving backwards is just to attract her, to give her something to go to. It's also kind of makes her fun, because as I move back, she gets more energy from it. The moving backwards is something you want to do forever, because if she can't hear you, she'll at least see you, so she knows like the visual of recall is that when he moves back, I need to follow that movement. So here, Bailey, come, tap. Yes, good girl. Tap for the sit. Yes, good job. 4 more. Break. Oh, good, that's fine. Bailey, come, tap. Yes. Good. Yes, good girl. Break. 3 more. Pancakes is watching us. Good, wait a moment. Bailey, come, tap. Yeah, good girl. Yes. Good. Break. 2 more. Bailey, come, tap. Yes, 1 more. Oh, you get your treat. Break. It's looking good. It's looking good. Bailey, come, tap. Yes. Yes, good job. Good, so, well, that was the last one, right? Okay. So we'll cap it here for her break. Nothing out of the ordinary. She did really good. At first, you saw her kind of get a little confused because with the e-collar, she was kind of looking at where the feeling was, and it was just, yeah, like we just saw a little bit of confusion and hesitation. But other than that, it transferred very well. If anything, it was more cleaner because now, like in the prong collar video, she was disengaging, so she would come to you, but to Andy, and then she'd like walk away, and all we can do is just pull her back. Here, there's a much more bigger consequence for her to have. So as you saw, she was going to go that way. She stopped, turned around, and came back to me. So that's showing me that she's like, no, I need to stick here because I don't want to get that feeling again. And then after that, it was just boom. She came to me, sat, came to me, sat, came to me, sat. She just did a straight line to me. So she did really good. Nothing out of the ordinary for Bailey. So again, just a few things to kind of remind is moving backwards. Again, to give her the visual of that something is going to, or there's something to go to. So if you're at the beach or something, she can't hear you, and you're tapping her and she's looking confused, you start moving backwards, she should know, okay, that's recall. She should start making her way to you. And then the reeling in your leash as well. For the Bailey come tap, the reason why we tap every single time she's making her way to us is because, let's say I said Bailey come and she always came. That's good, but if she's off leash one day, or maybe she's doing her own thing like smelling flowers or whatever it is, and then let's say we call her, Bailey come, and then we're waiting, she's not coming to us, okay, we have to tap. So then maybe she's like, all right, I'll come now. And then maybe as soon as she started to make her way to us, we decide to tap. So technically the tap is too late because she's already coming to you. So sometimes when dogs are in that position, they think they're going in the wrong direction, or they're confused, they think they're doing something wrong, and then they might lay down or they run the opposite way. So if that happens, it's going to be hard to kind of work the dog through that if they're off leash. So what we're doing here now is we're clarifying tap. We are clarifying that we're kind of forcing the confusion to happen so that we can fix it. You don't need to lay on me. So we're forcing the confusion to fix that issue so that never happens, because what we're letting her know is that, yes, I know I tapped too late, but at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you are still to follow through to the command. Since recall is a very important command, that's why we forced that much confusion for her. What else? Practicing, you can do this setup if you like. This is a 2-person setup here. It's unrealistic though, because no one calls their dog from a stationary sitting position. People usually call their dogs when they're running away or when they're chasing something. So it's unrealistic, but it's just to kind of get the foundation down. So to advance it and to mimic the movement, Elias will come grab Bailey or Andy or me from the handler doing recall, and then as we're walking away, we'll do recall, and she should 180 and come to the owner or the other handler. So that's like an in motion, and then from there we do a jog away, and then recall off the jog. If you're by yourself, you can still practice. You'll have your 30-foot long leash, kind of letting her roam around, do whatever she, dog stuff, whatever it is, and then Bailey come, move back, tap, 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 and then make the command happen. You can recall her off, and maybe she has like good squirrel drive. When she sees a squirrel, you can do recall. When she's chasing the squirrel, you can do recall. And maybe the squirrel goes up a tree and she's barking at the tree, you can do recall there as well. The more disengaged Bailey is from you, and then you do the recall, the better the recall will be. So when you practice, what you don't want to do is drill it out. So let's say you have a favorite spot for Bailey to kind of run around. What you don't want to do is do like recall 4 times in a row. The next thing, go to the park, recall 4 times in a row, and then you keep drilling it out. Because what can happen there is she'll be too paranoid to the point where she's not going to want to go free roam because she's going to stick next to you, because she's going to be thinking, you're going to call me anyways, why am I going to go out and venture out? So the first time you practice, maybe do like 2 recalls, good girl, and then you give it a break. The next time you go to the park, don't do any. The next time you go to the park, maybe do 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end, and then heal, and then you go home. The next time 3, the next time none. So be very spontaneous with it. Always mix it up for Bailey to just avoid that problem, that issue. It's not a bad thing, but it just makes it difficult to practice. What else? Yeah, she did good.